How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just want to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark from last night, which was February 1st, 2022. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was Anthony Ogogo versus Marcus Cross. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Anthony Ogogo went over with the pop-up knockout punch. Well, before the match, as Marcus Cross was already out in the ring, Anthony Ogogo came out and had a microphone and cut a promo, and Anthony Ogogo was talking about how he was pissed off because when he returned to AEW, there's been signing after signing after signing, and megastar after megastar after megastar, and talked about how he knocked out Cody Rhodes before he left, and how, for example, about the signing after signing after signing, and megastar after megastar after megastar, giving examples like CM Punk and Adam Cole and everything, and Anthony Ogogo talked about how he didn't return on Dynamite and didn't return on Rampage. He returned here on Dark in front of the Mucks. And Anthony Ogogo was talking about how he would love to knock out CM Punk and Adam Cole and everything. And Anthony Ogogo was talking about how he was going to knock everybody out and everything as well. That was cool. That was match 1, by the way. Match 2, it was Penelope Ford versus Angelica Risk. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Penelope Ford went over with the Muda Lock. That was match 2, by the way. Match 3, it was QT Marshall versus Toa Leona. That was a great match, but the ending to it, QT Marshall went over with the Diamond Cutter. That was match 3, by the way. Match 4, it was 2.0, which are Matt Lee and Jeff Parker versus Kid Bandit and Ish. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, 2.0, went over because Jeff Parker pinned Kid Bandit with the 2 for the show from Matt Lee and Jeff Parker. Well, after the match, as Matt Lee was standing on the top rope celebrating, Jeff Parker... Well, after the match, as Matt Lee was standing on the apron celebrating, Jeff Parker and Daniel Garcia attacked Kid Bandit and threw him out of the ring, attacked Ish and threw him out of the ring, and then attacked Kid Bandit, threw him out of the ring as well, and then 2.0, which are Matt Lee and Jeff Parker, along with Daniel Garcia, continued to celebrate and everything. That was cool. That was match 4, by the way. Match 5, it was Lance Archer versus Jordan Costa. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Lance Archer went over with the EBD claw. Well, before the match, Lance Archer, as Lance Archer was coming out to the ring, Lance Archer had Jordan Costa on his shoulders, dragging him to the ring, and then put him down, started beating the shit out of him and everything before the match started and everything. That was cool. That was match 5, by the way. Match 6, it was Marina Shafir versus Rekka Tahaka. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Marina Shafir went over with the standing leg capture triangle choke. That was match 6, by the way. Match 7, it was The Factory, which are Aaron... That was match 6, by the way. The match between Marina Shafir versus Rekka Tahaka, that is. Match 7, it was The Factory, which are Aaron Solo and Nick Comoroto versus Dante Casanova and Cameron Stewart. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, The Factory went over because Aaron Solo pinned Dante Casanova by the backbreaker diving foot stomp combination from Nick Comoroto and Aaron Solo. That was match 7, by the way. Match 8, it was Tony Nese versus Zach Clayton. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Tony Nese went over with the running Nese. That was match 8, by the way. Match 9, it was Kiera Hogan versus Maserati. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Kiera Hogan went over with the roundhouse kick. That was match 9, by the way. Match 10, it was the Dark Order, which are 5 and 10, versus Arya Daivari and Invictus Cash. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Dark Order went over cause 10 made Invictus Cash pass out to the full Nelson. Well, after the match, Tony Schiavone interviewed the Dark Order, which are 5 and 10, and Tony Schiavone was asking the Dark Order what was next for him and everything, and then The Factory, which are QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, and Nick Comoroto came out, and QT Marshall had a microphone and was saying, "Shut up, Tony Schiavone. Now get the hell out of my ring. I'll conduct this interview from here." Well, Tony Schiavone left the ring, and The Factory, which are QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, and Nick Comoroto, were already in the ring, and QT Marshall was saying, "Alan Angels, Preston Vance, 5 and 10, whatever they call you all. Remember who coached you. It was me. So how about you two shake my hand, leave the Dark Order, and join The Factory?" And so QT Marshall reached out his hand to shake 5 and 10's hands, but 5 and 10 done the Dark Order gesture and flipped Nick Comoroto and Aaron Solo off, and even QT Marshall off as well. And then Nick Comoroto and Aaron Solo attacked 5 and 10 and beat the shit out of them and laid them out and everything. And then QT Marshall was saying, "I told you all. This is what you get when you don't join The Factory." And then QT Marshall was saying, "Solo, Comoroto, expose those pieces of shit." And so Aaron Solo and Nick Comoroto beat the shit out of 5 and 10 and then threw him out of the ring and everything. And then The Factory, which are QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, and Nick Comoroto, left, while the Dark Order, which are 5 and 10, were laid out outside the ring and everything. That was cool. That was match 10, by the way. Match 11, it was Matt Sydal and Dante Martin versus Bear Country, which are Bear Bronson and Bear Boulder. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Matt Sydal and Dante Martin went over because Dante Martin pinned Bear Bronson with the nosedive. That was match 11, by the way. And match 12, which was the main event, it was Lee Moriarty versus Joey Janela. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Lee Moriarty went over with a roll-up. Well, after the match, Tony Well, after the match, Tony Schiavone interviewed Lee Moriarty, and Tony Schiavone was giving his congratulations to Lee Moriarty, talking about how he had a hard-fought match and how he told him to take his breath because he deserves it and everything. And then Lee Moriarty was saying, "Thank you, Tony. You know, Tony, the last time we talked, I told you I was the future of All Elite Wrestling. And I'm proving that. But instead of the future, I'm focused on the now. Because I have a family to take care of. I have bills to pay. And instead of worrying about the future, I am the now. I'm worried about the now. Because I've been racking up wins, and I've been racking up losses. But from here on out, I'm going to worry about the now, and I'm going to rack up more wins, and I am going to be on top of this company and everything." That was cool. Now, besides all that, Alex Marvez interviewed Fuego del Sol, and Alex Marvez was talking to Fuego del Sol, saying, "Fuego del Sol, next week on AEW Dark, you will be in a match against Serpentico." And Fuego del Sol was saying, "That's right, Alex. Next week I will be facing Serpentico. And I'm going to say right now, Serpentico, next week, I'm going to kick your ass. I'm either going to lay you out with the Tornado DDT, which you've taken before, or I'm going to stomp your guts in. Because Fuego del Sol is the future of All Elite Wrestling. And next week, I'm going to prove that by kicking your ass and everything." That was cool. Now, besides all that, Taz and Excalibur, Taz and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. And the referees for the event, wait a minute. The referees for the event were Mike Posey, Rick Knox, and Paul Turner. Okay. Rick Knox refereed the match between Anthony Ogogo versus Marcus Cross. Mike Posey refereed the match between Penelope Ford versus Angelica Risk. Paul Turner refereed the match between QT Marshall versus Toa Leona. Rick Knox refereed the match between 2.0 versus Kid Bandit and Ish. Mike Posey refereed the match between Lance Archer versus Jordan Costa. Paul Turner refereed the match between Marina Shafir versus Rekka Tahaka. Rick Knox refereed the match between The Factory versus Dante Casanova and Cameron Stewart. Mike Posey refereed the match between Tony Nese versus Zach Clayton. Rick Knox refereed the match between Kiera Hogan versus Maserati. Paul Turner refereed the match between The Dark Order versus Arya Davari and Invictus Cash. Rick Knox refereed the match between Matt Sydal and Dante Martin versus Bear Country. And Rick Knox refereed the match between Lee Moriarty versus Joey Janela. All the referees done awesome as usual. Now, the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite tonight, so far that's been announced, it's going to be CM Punk versus MJF, Jon Moxley versus Brian Kendrick, the Death Triangle, which are Pac and Penta El Cerro Miedo versus the House of Black, which are Malachi Black and Brody King, and Ruby Soho versus Nyla Rose. Those are the matches that have been announced so far. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite tonight looks like it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark from last night, which was February 1st, 2022. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.